What is going on, Internet? Another video coming at you from the Washington Football Report. This is JD. Let's dive right into this. So I use this logo. It's not exactly, I don't want to be the Washington Wolves. I want to be the Red Wolves. But it does kind of spell out WOW, which is my reaction to Washington inking in a contract with Jonathan Allen, guy we drafted a couple years ago. First round, and we've actually signed and got a second contract out of since Ryan Kerrigan. Good stuff. I'm going to talk about that for just a little bit here. First thing I want to get into is I want everyone to please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Give videos like this all the time. Hit the like button and comment down below what you think of the topic at hand. So Washington signs Jonathan Allen, and it's on to a $72 million extension. So it's $82 million over 5 years, including this year. So this year he's getting 10. So it's basically paying him a little bit more this year, but it spreads out the money over 5 years rather than 4 that he's getting extra. So yeah, he got extended, and it's good because we got a guy who he likes the new name we're going for. If we actually go for Red Wolves, I hope we do. I've been on the record for that. I hope we get the Red Wolves. Something like this. But he also is a leader in the locker room. He wants to win. He doesn't like losing. He is one of our key pieces. Now, I'm going to be honest. In this offseason, I have said that we should potentially trade him. And it wasn't because I don't think he's a good player. Okay? The reason why I thought we should trade him is potentially because we have plenty of guys on the defensive line. So if there's one position you can trade, it'd be one position you can get rid of a player and probably still be okay. It's that. But two, we hadn't inked in a long-term extension. We weren't this kind of came out of nowhere. I know they were talking about it, but Washington last decade or so has not been good about getting multiple extra contracts done and second contracts out of players. So there's really no confidence in that. And if you weren't going to sign him and extend him long term, then I'm my thing is just trade him this year. Even if he could play 1 year and be great, it's better just to trade him, get something for him, maybe even his replacement. And going forward, now would also save us $10 million in the cap this year. We could have used that towards someone else. That was my thought process. I'm not going to lie about that. I 100% said those words. But my thought process, I never thought that Allen wasn't a good player. I just thought we're going to want to keep certain players on the defensive line, and I guess Ron's going to try to keep everyone. With the cap space going up over the next few years, I think he feels he can keep Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, and obviously Jonathan Allen, which is fine. If the cap's going up and we have the money, absolutely, let's do it. Let's make sure we ink in these guys for long-term success. I'm fine with that. But I was afraid that with the money, the way how much things are going to cost, I didn't think we were going to have the money to do it. That was my concern. Now we got to get Terry McLaurin extended. So that's another one we got to get. So I think we have next year to do it still. I think we still have 1 more year in his deal after this year. So that is a thing. But in essence, it just shows how a team can be ran with adults at the helm. And I'm going to say that, it sounds like I'm being condescending, but I'm being serious. Adults at the helm gets things done. It's not this Brandon Sheriff crap or Kirk Cousins crap where we're extending people or we're getting franchise tags, keep them here 1 more year when they just clearly don't want to be here. I think Ron did it for 1 year, or did the franchise tag just because he wants 1 more year out of a good player if we has to bail, and then he's not spending that much money on the offensive line. And he can allocate that money elsewhere, quarterback, whatever case may be. So I am very happy with this signing. Our defensive line is the backbone of our team, and if you got a player playing on a 1 year deal, he's not going to be at his best. This gets him reassured that that the team wants him, that Ron wants him, and going forward, we know we have one guy for the next 5 years. Daron Payne, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, I think they're going to get extensions before they ever get to their final contract. The question is how much money, and can we afford all of them? I guess if you had to look at it, what player could we afford not to have? I guess maybe Dron Payne's the next one, or maybe we get rid of Tim Settle and maybe we save a couple million there to help pay Dron Payne next year and extend him. I don't know. There's so many different questions and concerns that I have. Not bad concerns. I mean, it's bad concerns in a sense we could lose a player, but getting him inked, getting him signed just shows, right, like I said, that adults are in charge, that a real coach, a real leader is leading this franchise. Getting good players re-signed, keeping them on the roster, having consistency somewhere, that's going to resonate to the rest of the team. In the past, everyone's like, well, if you're with the Washington and you're a high draft pick or high caliber pick, and you perform, Washington's going to reward you with pay. They're going to pay you. You're going to get paid. You're going to get money in your pocket. You're going to get taken care of, and that's what Ron does. The owner of our team took care of players he liked, but weren't good. There's a difference. Take care of players that are good. Okay, the last GM was a cap guy, and that's what his thing was. He was a cap guy, but he was not accountable for anything. He had terrible leadership. The fish rots from the head down, and that's what the last leader of this franchise did. You can say what you want. I mean, Dan Snyder's still the owner. Ron's running this show. This is the Ron Rivera show, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it 100%. He gets stuff done. He's drafting players that we need. We're not having some dumbass trade for like 9 of our draft picks to trade up and get like a Justin Fields or Trey Lance or something. We're sitting back and we're waiting for the opportunity and building a great team that we can just throw a quarterback on and boom, we're a contender. And right now, I think we're actually a lot of teams are picking us to be the biggest competition for the Buccaneers in the NFC East or NFC period. And I did a video on this. So I'm going to reiterate this video because this one will probably get more views than the last one, because the last one was multiple topics. This one, one main topic, but I will talk about this. You can look at teams in the NFC East, and people keep saying Dallas is going to be this, or this. What has Dallas improved on? What have they gotten better at? Okay, remember I want to remember last year Dallas was 1-3 with Dak Prescott as a starter. Some people don't count the 4th loss because he got injured in that game, but they were 1-3 with him as a starter last year. If you count the 4th loss, they were 1-4. So they weren't a very good football team to begin with. They weren't winning games. They might have put up points, but they weren't winning games. Couldn't stop anyone. Okay, there's nothing about them that improved. Their receiving core didn't get better. They didn't draft any better receivers. Their tight end squad didn't get better. Okay. You also don't have your offensive line didn't get. It's getting better in the sense that guys that were injured are coming off of injury, so you're getting better in that regard. Running back core didn't get better. I think Ezekiel is just a year older, and if he plays like he played last year, they're going to be in some trouble when it comes around the football. Defensively, defensive line stayed about the same. Linebacking core got a little bit better. They drafted Michael Parsons and Jabril Cox, and then their secondary they drafted some guys, but a lot of them weren't like a lot of them were very questionable. And then their free agent signings are coming off of huge injuries. So nothing really is improved with Dallas. I mean, they got their quarterback now, but they weren't winning with the quarterback. So I don't see where people think that Dallas is like significantly better than Washington, where they're just so good. They had the best quarterback. They had the best quarterback, and they still lost the division. But they're 1-3, and that's why Washington decided, you know what, we're not going to tank the season, get a quarterback. We're going to go all in, and we're going to try to win the division. And we're still going to put a good team on the field the following year. We're not going to just tank and get good. We're going to win and get good. And that's what Washington did. Look at that. Look at Giants. You might be able to make a little more of an argument. You can argue that Andrew Thomas is a year older, so he's a little bit better than he was last year. They're getting Saquon back, and he won't be back until a couple games in. He's not going to be ready by opening day. Quarterback still Daniel Jones, but his weapons got better, so you can say there's a slight improvement there. Receivers got better. You did get some more receivers. I'd say there'd be more of an argument for Giants getting better than Dallas, and but Giants were like a game behind us. They were like 6-10, and they were 6-10. Here's the thing: Giants were 6-10, and they had like of their 10 losses, like 5 or 6 of them came by like a couple points. So it wasn't like they got blown out of the building in a bunch of their games. They were in situations where they could have won games and just didn't finish. And that's part of having a new coach. It's part of being a team in a rebuild, part of having a young quarterback. So I'm not going to sit here and, I'm not going to sit here and boost the Giants all that much. I don't like the Giants. I'm a Washington fan. Make that very clear. But I would say if there's more of an argument for which team improved more, I'd say Giants improved more than Dallas. And even some of the free agents they signed, Kenny Galladay was a big signing for them. Kyle Rudolph joined as a tight end, joins them, helped them out. You also got, I don't remember the defensive players. I think Jackson from the Titans. I can't remember his first name. Save my life. You got that. So the team definitely has improvements compared to what Dallas did last year. Okay, now let's look at the Washington team. Washington, quarterback. Did they improve? Hell yes. I like Alex Smith, but they improved, one, by having a really good backup in Taylor Heineke. Two, you can also make the argument that they have a better starting quarterback because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. So just in that sense alone, you've improved there. Weapons. Our second best receiver last year was Cam Sims. He's now our fifth best receiver. Okay? Fourth or fifth. Depends on how you look at it. Depends on how you value the talent. So, there are tight ends. We had another tight end. Very good tight end. Very solid tight end out of Boise State. Offensive line. Upgrades across the board. Drafted a guy. It's going to help our offensive line. It's across the board improvement. Can't argue that. I guess you can argue it. Physically you can, but it's not going to be a good argument. Let me just put it that way. And defensively, upgrades. We upgraded linebacker. Yeah. We upgraded cornerback, safety. All those have been improvements. So, just want to throw that topic out there. What's your thoughts? What do you think Washington? Where do you think Washington's at when it comes to the improvement category? Have we improved more than all the other teams in our division? What do you think of the Jonathan Allen trade? Please comment in the section down below. And other than that, hail to the Redskins. See ya.